Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel, and I hope you're all doing amazing. So, as you saw in the title today, I will be letting into my personal life journey of being a chef. I will talk about industry side and obviously what I've learned in terms of being a chef in general, because they never prepared you for the things that you were going to go through. They really didn't prepare me for what I was going to face, but I'm super grateful for every experience I've ever had in the industry. So before I go on, please do like, comment, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell their friends, tell their friends, tell their family, so that everybody ends up in the video the same way that you're on the video. Also, please get the notification bell on so you get notified every single time I post. Also, please follow me on my socials in the description box down below. Before I go on for long, let's get into the video. Okay, so culinary school, right? So you were placed in industry for you to finish off your culinary school. Pretty much that was a prerequisite that you had to fulfill. So you got placed at an establishment, whether it was a hotel, whether it was a restaurant. If you wanted, you could go to a game lodge. If you wanted, you could go overseas. Listen, you could do whatever you wanted, really. With overseas, obviously, Maliako, your own placement kind of thing. But anywhere around, if you were able to find a place to, they were able to, if you wanted to go to a certain place, you could go to a certain place. But initially, you got placed in a establishment, right? So I got lucky enough to be placed at the Maximilian restaurant, which is the restaurant to the Da Vinci Hotel in Santon, which is, I think, right across the Michelangelo. So it was for me quite the experience, really. I say quite the experience because I was never ready for what I experienced there. Okay, I really wasn't ready. So what happened was that I had an interview. So I went to school, went to do my interview, and I got there, and I remember the executive saying to me, "Hey, hold this plate." And I was like, okay. Not knowing this plate was so hot, I remember literally putting it down and saying, "Listen, this is hot, my hands are burning. If this is how I lose my job, so be it." But inside I was panicking. I was like, okay, what are you doing? What are you doing? But it was really one of those things I was like, aye. But that's just the kind of person that I am generally, and he says to me, "Okay, great, I was just trying to see how you are as a person, like what your resilience is. Were you going to just follow what I said, or are you going to kind of put up a fight and be like, listen, I'm standing my ground and this is it?" So that's pretty much what got me the job. So to say I just had to work that night shift, though. He's like, "Okay, cool, you can work tonight." And I was like, "What? I'm not ready. Industry starts in like 2 months. What do you mean?" But anyway, I worked that night and everything was fine. So I started with my pastry. I ended up doing both my pastry and hot kitchen there. I was going to go to my pastry there, then move to another place, but I was like, I really like the place, so I'm just going to do both of them in the same place, So what happened was I started my industry, fine, and I think it was November where I started. Was it November, October? End of October, beginning November, somewhere there. And I used to work 12 to 10 for the first month. I guess they were just trying to gauge and see how I work under pressure and in those hours, because that's okay. I can't really off the bat tell you how many hours that is, but I can't off the bat tell you how many hours that is. I don't actually remember. But then as time went on, I ended up working from 3 to 10, which is my favorite shift personally. I think the 3 to 10 shift, you do so much, you learn so much. I'm not particularly the biggest fan of a breakfast shift. I just think breakfast shifts are just meh. There's nothing to do. It's just breakfast, eggs, bacon, sausage, the whole continental situation. And I just didn't like that aspect. Not that I didn't like, I don't like that aspect of chefing. I just like more cooking many other different kinds of things, and yeah, that's what I preferred. So then I worked there. While I actually, for both pastry and hot kitchen, I ended up working that set amount of hours. I highly enjoyed it. I remember being told, listen, everything that or everything you learned in culinary school, kind of put it on pause. Use some of it, but the rest of it, we need to rewrite. We need to rewrite how you do things, because wow, they really taught you guys in less of better words, bare minimum. Like, they really taught you just the bare basics, and we need to build more on this. So let's just refresh you and try and see how best we can teach you stuff. And I was very receptive to that, because I'm someone who just likes soaking in information and learning so many different things. The first week, so to say, of working was brutal. I remember going home crying, I can't do this anymore, it's a lot of work. Can I not just become, like, I don't know, like a lawyer? I just can't do this, because it was just that tiring. We were not prepared physically and mentally for the environment that you were getting into. You were getting into a fast-paced environment. It's hot throughout. Alright? It's hot in there. You're on your feet so many times. Because I was still getting there, I don't know what was going on, you're hardly eating. It's just a lot in one place, and I really feel like culinary school could do better in kind of prepping you for how industry is. You telling me that industry is going to be difficult, the hours are going to be long, this, put that in practical for me so that I can learn better, So that was what, for me, industry was like, until I kind of got the hang of it, and I was like, it became natural, it became a norm. Like, it became like, okay, cool, this many hours, oh, is it already home time? It became that kind of thing, and the environment that I worked in was fantastic. I had the most amazing people to work with. I had the most knowledgeable people to work with. I learned so much from each and every single person who was in the kitchen. Be it someone who works in pasta, be it someone who works in slaughters, be it someone who works in pastry, be it someone who works, anywhere else. Okay, well, especially my pastry mentor, he was absolutely fantastic, the best. Like I said, if you know anything about me, I love pastry more than I do cooking, but I learned so many different things from so many different people. All these curveballs were thrown on a daily basis, and yes, it was kind of like, okay, you guys are doing a lot, but it really helped me out a whole lot, and I came to use all that knowledge and all of that kind of stuff when I eventually got back into working, So for me, it was fantastic. It was great. I enjoyed the year that I was there. It was just nothing short of happiness. Yes, it was. There were days where you're like, honestly, I could change careers. I could actually just change careers. I could just, but, it was what it was. So, just to take you through like a typical day, it would be me getting to work at 3 o'clock. I worked Sunday to Friday. And I was off on Saturday, so I was off one day. I always say I was off 2 days, because Friday I worked morning shift, then I would have Saturday off, and then I would start work on Sunday afternoon. So that's how my day, like my week, was structured every week. So to say, get to work on a normal day, like during the week, get to work at 3 o'clock. I usually eat, because I never had time to eat when I was at home, because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like 12 o'clock, oh, it's already 2 o'clock, oh, I need to start work at 3. It's always that thing. I'd eat, then do all my preps that I needed to do for the evening. So every evening we had dessert trolley, so you need to make sure that, okay, you have five desserts, like 4 or 5 desserts, so 4 each of 5 different desserts that needed to go on the trolley. So all that prep had to be done. You had to make sure you had prep for all the desserts that were on the menu itself. You don't want to be caught off guard. Hey, can I have a chocolate bomb? And there's no chocolate dome to cover that chocolate bomb shanties, you know what I'm saying. So all my preps were done then, and then obviously we would work through service. And then on a Sunday was pretty much the most chilled out day. I worked on my own on Sunday. My mentor was not there on Sunday, so Sunday I'll get to work at like 4. So do all my preps, so the cakes upstairs for the lounge, and do all the preps for the desserts for room service. And if I had preps to do for obviously our a la carte desserts, I would do that as well. So for me, Sunday was very much a prep day. I'd get into work, get stuck in it immediately so that I could leave early. So I get stuck in it, do every single prep that I need to do. The nice thing about pastry is when you're baking or anything like that, you bake, you put it in the oven, you bake, it sits in the fridge. Or, it's those kinds of things where you not necessarily have to be on your feet constantly. That's what I actually loved about Sunday. And also Sunday was Sunday lunch day, Sunday supper, 720 calories on the plate. Listen, it was good times, So that was pretty much how my days would go in a week. Friday, I would work breakfast. So I would work, it was called the Lalavuga shift, so I'd work till 10 or 11 or whatever. And then wake up in the morning to start at 6 to finish at 2. On that, and breakfast was structured in a way where our midnight shift, our graveyard shift, our graveyard shift would pretty much do all the preps for breakfast, and then we would then figure out, okay, fine, when you get there, you need to take out everything. So you need to take out all the cereals, you need to take out the cereals, all the add-ons, yogurt, this, that. There was so much to do for breakfast. It's crazy. Like, it was so much to do, but like I said, for myself, so little to learn, you know. But breakfast is generally such a busy shift, you know, so you always have to make sure, okay, the buffet is set, okay, this person's ordering from the menu, okay, da 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 da. So all that kind of stuff. That was pretty much how breakfast worked. Dinner service, same thing. If you're familiar with going to a restaurant or whatever, you order your food, it comes to us, we do what we need to do, and then that's it. You know, some people are there, oh, dessert already at 7 or whatever, and that's pretty much it. Also, during then we had things like events. So when we had events, I'd have to go to work a little bit earlier so that we can kind of, so it was always platters for desserts. So I'd always do platters to go out, and yeah, so I think that was, for me, that was industry. Other people had really bad industry experiences, you know. It was always like, oh, they made me chop onions forever, oh, they made me do that. I never experienced that kind of thing, you know. I'm not going to talk on something I know, because I had such a good experience in industry that pretty much set the tone for how I want the rest of my career to be, or set the tone for the kind of work environment that I want to be in, and all of that kind of stuff. Because in chefing and working environment is very important, because you spend so much, I mean, in every career, I think work environment is important. Don't get me wrong. Okay, let me just rephrase that statement. Don't get me wrong. But for me personally, I'm talking about something that I know. In chefing, you need to have a good working environment. You spend way too much time with these people to be in a bad environment, you know. So yeah, I think that is pretty much my industry experience, and how I pretty much, I would say, navigated through everything. It was tough, you know. It was very tough. Like I said, there's days where you just wanted to give up and just keep things moving. There were days where you're just like, okay, I just can't wait to go to work, and all of that kind of stuff. Like I say, I'm super grateful for every single person that I met there, because they taught me so much, so much, that I was just like mind blown, you know, like learning so many different things from so many different people. So yeah, that is actually me done with this industry video. Before no, actually. So like, yeah, that's pretty much it. I think on terms of working environment and how excited I am to have worked with certain people, like the people that I worked with, it was always fun. There's nothing as funny as the banter in the kitchen. Like, I understand, like I said, I think I'm talking about things that I know. Obviously, I think everybody's job is fun at some point, but the banter in the kitchen just makes your working hours seem. So yeah, that is actually me done. Please do like, comment, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell their friends, tell friends, tell their family, so that everybody ends up on the video the very same way you are on the video. Also, you know the drill, notification bell on to get notified every single time I post. And that is me done with today's video. I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.